Even in games where you're down 30,000 souls, I still think there are things that every Deadlock player can be doing to hopefully bring it back. So in this video, I want to go through 3 things that I think every Deadlock player, whether you're a beginner or a veteran, can be doing to win more games, have more fun, and bring more value to your team in Deadlock. Hey everyone, this is Connor here at Dead Unlocked, and I'm going to use actually the VOD review pending the replay viewer actually working to go through a few moments in this game where I feel like I made some mistakes. I wasn't following my own advice. Some instances where I think the team made great plays and we were able to swing this game, turn this game around. This was a really fun game to win. It's one of those games in Deadlock where it's why you love Deadlock. It's such a good game, such a good experience. So I really want to break this down and use this to talk about, like I said, 3 things that I think everyone can do in Deadlock to improve, win more games, contribute more to their team. Let's get right into it. The first thing I think every player can be doing in Deadlock to win more and to have more fun, improve everything I just said, is to focus on waves. Now, you've probably heard this advice a lot from other streamers and content creators. It's good advice, but I want to kind of break down what I mean by that. So, the first piece of this and why I'm so zoomed in on the minimap is because the minimap is a huge part of this equation. Honestly, if you're going to get better at Deadlock, learn the game, I would recommend getting used to looking at the minimap every few seconds, even in the laning phase. So right now in the game, we're at the 1142 mark. Our team is down 8k souls already. It's a mess. And despite that, we're kind of moving around. We've had some success in the map, and we've also had some pitfalls in the map. So we are starting to move around, and the mid game is beginning. So this is where looking at lanes is really important, because you can get a lot of intel from looking at the minimap and looking at lanes in particular. And what I would honestly recommend in a situation like this, right? And for new players, whether you're in the laning phase, mid game, late game, I would actually, if you're a new player specifically, I would tunnel vision on lanes. I would look at the rest of the map, sure, but I would always look at literally just how far does the yellow line or the blue line go. That should be your indicator as a new player of where you should go on the map. So as you can see right now in the left lane, we just lost our Guardian, and now players are starting to roam. We're trying to make a mid push to get our Guardian, and a lot of aggression's coming through. I'm in the middle of ulting, I'm low health. I have 2 players in my team against their 2 players, and they're going in pretty deep, actually. The right lane has maintained kind of its stability. It looks like that's going to continue to be a 2v2, and Bebop is roaming on the left side of the map because they just won their lane, right? And Billy, I think, has come over to help as well. Yeah, or Calico would have, but she is dead in spawn. So, this is a situation where right now, you don't need to go to the left lane if you're on the yellow team, if you're on my team. I think Victor is okay to drift over here and to help this fight. Maybe he could be managing wave, but again, the thing to pay attention to here is you're with your lane. That is the best way to get souls in this game. It really is the most efficient way to farm, and that is the objective of the game at the end of the day, is to push through lanes, get the lane objectives, so Guardians, Walkers, get to Patron, get Shrines down, all that good stuff. That is how you win a game of Deadlock. So at the very end of the day, at the end of the day, fighting in your lane, or in a lane in general, is productive to the game. Now, you do that by having souls and winning team fights. There's obviously more to the game than just that, but that is a really good starting point if you are a new player in Deadlock, something that I would really recommend keeping in mind. One of the worst things you can do, and I've seen this, I've done this before, I've been guilty of this. I'll be doing a jungle camp or getting a sinner sacrifice, the slot machines, and in my lane, Walker, minions will have gotten to my Guardian, and maybe an enemy hero comes up and tries to fight it as well. Maybe they're actually able to get Guardian, all because I was just over trying to farm in the jungle, and I should have just been on lane defending it. That has happened to me, and I've seen that happen to players more times than I would like, and that is one of the kind of the worst things you can do in Deadlock in terms of a value trade. That's going to get into what we talk about next. But in general, I don't want to focus on this too much because I think a lot of players know this, but get used to looking at the waves, focus on the wave, get used to looking at the minimap. Once you can do that, and once you can get a sense of kind of where to go based on the kind of supply and the need that you have on the map, I think that'll make you better at Deadlock almost immediately. We'll take this one live, but the second point I want to make of how to improve Deadlock, get better, have more fun, contribute more value, is to understand value trades. And if I were to have like a subtext to this, it would be that a lot of times it's better to be safe than sorry. Especially in Deadlock, one of the ways that I see players feed more than any way else is they're overly aggressive with really no clear value in return. So in this clip, there was a big skirmish that's wrapped up in mid. I think I used my ult, and now the lanes are kind of resettling, and some fights are being taken across the map. I see our team pick up Urn, so I think immediately, after kind of debating what to do in jungle for a second with Drifter, I make the call to go left and push up wave because in my mind, that is the best thing for me to do. Now let's pause here because I think this is an insane fight. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I am running up the middle of the left lane. My team has Urn, sure. So what should I be doing in this situation? Well, I have a walker. It is hurt, but I would want to make sure I'm defending that walker. And then if I can, help with the eventual Urn fight that I think is going to happen. What do I do instead? I really make a pretty valueless push halfway up mid lane into a Holiday that's 5k souls ahead of me and has been one of their more dominant players this game. I'm McGinnis. I'm not meant to be an aggressive frontline run at you character. I'm meant to play back and kind of fulfill that role for the team. So in this fight ends up going on for a long time. I won't necessarily show the full thing, but basically we skirmish back and forth. I'm really never in a position to win this fight. Even if I do win, there's really not much in it for me at that point. My team is able to get Urn, which is huge. So I guess in that sense, I did create some space for them. But I just kind of hang around here. I'm very indecisive. I really don't know what I'm doing. All the while, the other team is making a huge push into mid. They're going to do a significant amount of damage to that walker. And in a few minutes, actually, Holiday is going to go get bridge buff, come back and reaggress, and is actually able to get walker against me 1v1. A fight ensues after that. That's a mess. It's not great. The point I want to make here, though, is that I need to know in this situation what the value trade is. So me pushing up halfway down a lane when my team is doing Urn really isn't that great of a value trade. Now, I guess you could make the devil's advocate case that if I hadn't done that, maybe Holiday comes over, joins the fight, maybe they don't get Urn. But I really don't think that would have been the case here. I don't get a ton of souls from doing this. I'm fighting a hero that is stronger than me on the enemy team. And in a second, I think I keep fighting her even though she has bridge buff. I allow her to get bridge buff. Me going to get that immediately would have probably been a better play. I think I had that thought here. Then I hear the Holiday. Yep, and I'm unable to go do that now, and I panic. So there's a lot of indecision here. There's a lot of confusion here on my part even. And just it's good to point out my own flaws here in this instance, right? And there's just not a lot of value trade that I'm getting. I think the one thing that I would tell myself here is to play a little bit more defensively, find value on the map, help my team find value, and that will get us back into the game. I don't do that here. They get a lot of value in the mid game, and we fall even farther behind. We're already down 15k souls, and that is about to get a little bit bigger. But not all hope is lost. I've got a third point I want to make, and I think this is actually a time where I make a decent play. All right, and my third point here that I think is going to help you find ways to improve, get better at Deadlock, is to know your role. So let me pause before this fight gets too chaotic here, because it does get very chaotic. So let's evaluate the game state, and let's have a conversation about what my role is in this game as a McGinnis player who's kind of decently okay on souls and doing decent damage. Okay, on my team, we have two carries pretty clearly. We have a Wraith at 32k souls, and we have a Drifter at 32k souls. Those are going to probably be our damage carry heroes. So I should know immediately, my role in the team is not to carry this game for damage. It really hardly ever is that if you're playing McGinnis, unless you're on some kind of gun build where you can carry. But that's just not really my role. I'm also not really a frontliner. I mean, McGinnis is meant to play back, in the back row with her turrets, denying area, healing, providing walls, ulting, obviously what McGinnis players do, especially with a turret build like I'm playing. So, frontline-wise, we probably have somewhat Victor, somewhat Shiv as our frontline. Doorman's providing a lot of utility and spirit damage. I'm also providing utility and spirit damage. Let's look at what the other team wants to do. I think this kind of thing is a good practice to do. I just came out of Spawn, and that's hopefully what I was doing in Spawn, was evaluating things like this, looking at enemy items, making judgment calls. I think I bought Juggernaut in this slot because I saw some gun damage and some gun priority from them, so that was a call that I made at the time, right? It's not necessarily an item I would usually buy. What does the enemy team want to do, though? They have a really insane pick comp. So what they want to do is they want to Holiday lasso you, they want to Bebop hook you into Lash, Billy, and Calico. That's pretty devastating. If you get pulled in, a lot of times it's really hard to survive, and so they want players to aggress into them. It makes teams like this are pretty hard to fight because they want you to initiate fights, as they can kind of pull one of you out. If you can't peel for that person and support them, a lot of times they're going to get pickoffs, and that's what was happening to us all game. As you can see, the game's not going great. We don't have a walker. We're down to our last walker. We're down 30k souls. A lot of times, this is when players would just kind of call it GG, move on, we lost. But honestly, No one, credit to my team in this game. I don't know if you were anyone in this game sees this video, but credit to y'all. Everyone kind of kept their heads. We played a decent game, and I think we're actually able to do some good things here. So, in this fight, I am a McGinnis player, so I'm going to do what McGinnis players should be doing best. Throw down some turrets, deny area. I do get hooked. They actually are able to, pretty much do what they want to do. I get double bombed. I'm getting attacked by Calico, and now Billy's here. So I am running away back to my Healing Spectre, doing exactly what I should be doing, and that is denying area, being annoying, letting my turrets do damage, all that. And you can see that they're doing what they want to do again. They keep hooking people. I think Doorman gets hooked and killed there. Yep, rip Doorman. But we still continue to provide value and to do what we do as McGinnis. So we'll talk about that for a second. I think Doorman gets lassoed, so there's not much he could have done. But Doorman being in that position is really tough. He should be back with me, as far away from that fight as possible. We really need our frontliners to be the ones kind of spearheading this. I think they get over to the fight a little bit late. But as you can see, everyone on the map is over here at this point. This is a huge, huge fight. I need to continue to know my role in this fight. I shouldn't get too aggressive. My role is to deny this walker. That is what McGinnis is, I think, meant to do in this situation, if I had to kind of call it as best I could. So at this point, they are investing every single person to this fight. We have now basically invested everyone as well. Again, I guess for them, minus Holiday. And we run and hide. They get Walker, but the fight's not over. This is still a really huge team fight. I'm getting, I think, Mina ulted. I'm getting Bebop ulted. I'm getting Dovapon, and it's time for me to hide. You all may call me a coward because of this, but this is exactly what I should be doing in this situation, is hiding behind these little boxes, letting them burn 3 ults, and then we're going to come out and try and do some things. The team's still alive. We've only lost 1 that we've taken Billy from them. Holiday's not here. We are down on souls, but this is probably a fight that we're advantaged and we can take this fight. So throw down heals, we lose Shiv, but honestly with health bars, the fight's still pretty good. Ult comes out, and we're able to do some things here. Their Lash gets over aggressive, and we're able to clean up this fight. This is a huge, huge fight in this game, and I feel like this fight happens in Deadlock a lot, where the team that's down is able to kind of find and curate some value. And now we have to talk about something else. Holiday, if you can see it on the bottom right here, has stayed in. She is still in. This is such an interesting game to go back and look at, right? So if we look at our previous 2 points that we made in this video, managing waves and value trading, our waves are terrible right now, so we're going back to fix our waves. Lo and behold, Holiday's in our base doing I don't know what. She has just lost 3 players. She's got no support. She knows that a rotation's coming in because the fight just ended and players died. We lost Walker. There's no reason for any of us to be over there anymore. We're going to rotate out. The place we're going to come back to is base. And so Holiday is just here shooting a shrine. So the value trade here from this Holiday is really questionable. And we end up cleaning her up here, and this is actually a huge pivotal point in the game. And again, I think if Holiday's smart here, she rotates out because there's really no value to be gained from being in that situation. And I think my like subtext with that value thing was, if you're going to err on one side or the other, err on the side of being a little bit more conservative in Deadlock games. I really think it can be helpful. If we look at the next few moments of this game, this is where things really change. They can't do much. They have to give up some space in the middle of the map. Even with low spawn cooldown timers, which are all incorrect on the screen right now, apologies for replay viewer, we're able to get mid here. This fight gets pretty crazy. But this is a massive, massive point in the game. Because of what we were able to do under that Walker, because Holiday blundering, we're able to now get the advantage. We didn't get all 3. They contested, which they should have. We're able to get 2 of the 3 rejuve credits, and we're able to take a pretty good fight. They don't have Holiday here. They're down, now they're down Billy, Mina's low, and now all of a sudden we can really bring back this fight and bring back this game. At a 30k soul lead, this game is now all of a sudden blown wide open, and we're able to seize a lot of advantage from it after this fight especially. And this fight goes on a little bit longer. I won't show the whole thing, but yeah, we continue to roll through them. We'll play it. Why not? The points I want to make in this video, though, I really believe it. So let's talk about the 3 again. Manage waves, focus on waves, maybe even hyperfixate on them if you're a new player. Understand value judgments. So basically evaluating for yourself, what's the thing I'm getting versus what's the thing I could be giving up if it goes wrong, or if someone else is trying to get value. We don't need to watch me hit center sacrifices. And then third, know your role in the game. I think if you can do those 3 things, you can win a lot more games of Deadlock, have a lot more fun, improve as a player, and you're going to see overall just better results. Wanted to show the match recap for this one. I've fallen out of Emissary, got a little too silly on some of the new heroes, and here we are. But this is how this match ended up. We did end up, like I showed in the graph earlier, bringing this one back. This was such a satisfying win to be able to pull off. These are the kind of games in Deadlock you just love to play, and it really is, for me, a lot of times just why I love this game are games like this. But like I said, I wanted to get back to making a little bit more of kind of educational new player content on the channel. A lot of things have been going on in life lately, so I haven't been able to have quite the same output as I'd like. But I hope this comes across. I hope this is understood. Let me know if you all have any feedback on the videos like this. I really want to get more into doing some VOD reviewing on the channel, but right now the replay viewer is just really difficult to work around, so that may be something I have to look at in the future. That's probably something that will also improve as the game improves, right? So, as always, though, wanted to thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all for all the support on the channel. The subs, the views have been really incredible. A lot of gratitude over here at Deadlocked, as always. But yeah, from our house to yours, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next time. I hope these tips help you to win more games, have more fun in Deadlock, and contribute more value to your team. We'll see you all next time, though.